welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Animation Revaluation Podcast. I am your host, Lizer, and with me, as always, are Jay and James. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Hi guys, how's it going?
I feel like one of you sounds way more excited than the other one. Hi, guys.
I feel like the roles are reversed for once.
I know.
Somebody's low energy. Same. Same. I'm pretty much like asleep in my chair, to be honest.
That I can understand.
Yeah. I just had energy. Like, we were just watching stuff. And then,
Yeah.
like, it's just like, it went poof.
It's just the time. The time does that.
I looked outside, it was dark. I was like, oh, is bed by? Good night.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it gets sometimes. I was like, oh, that's a really nice, like, oh, where'd the sun go?
I blinked, what happened?
Yeah, pretty much.
The fuck?
It's like, where'd the sun go?
Yeah, man. How's everyone doing, though?
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
Yeah, doing pretty good. I just recently got home, so I'm just a little tired. I haven't gotten rest a little bit.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Do apologies. Time zone difference, though. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Kind of rough.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
It's like you're just getting ready to start doing things for the day, and like we're just like, yeah, we're ready to turn in.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's a people that live in like the West Coast is just like by the time you're up, yeah, my day's over.
Sure, I mean, but I think by the time you guys wake up, if you go to sleep right now, I'll probably be barely waking up too, getting ready for work.
Don't you love being an adult? Don't you love having responsibilities?
No.
I almost couldn't get that word
No.
out. I almost couldn't get that word out.
Like, what the hell is that?
Responsibilities. There we go.
I don't even know what those are.
Yeah, you know what? Let's ignore them for today, and let's talk about something that we enjoy, which is some anime. So what did we have on our plate for this week?
Well, we had Vinland Saga for this past week, and I'll be honest, this shit was like shotgun start. Honestly, we just kind of loaded it and was just like, there you go, and kind of threw you into the thick of it.
Definitely did. Like, it's
The
just
opening
right off
scene
the
is
gun.
just,
Oh yeah.
It's like the opening scene is just like, hey, yeah, we're at war. It's like,
It's like it makes you remember that this is a Viking anime, so like
Yeah,
it
it
jumps
was just-
straight into action.
yeah, it just did not matter. It just did not care. It was just like, we're here now. Cry.
Cry.
Let's see.
I really like the fact that a lot of it, at least like I didn't find out until like after like watching it, that a lot of like certain characters and certain like where like certain events that happened during the anime actually happened. Like, I guess the author used a lot of the source material based on two sagas, is what I heard. I recently just got the book about it just because I was just kind of interested about it. It's two. I guess it's two sagas called the Vinland Sagas.
Oh, what a coincidence.
I know. But it consists of the saga of the Greenlander and the Eric of the Red saga.
Yeah.
And I guess he got a lot of like certain characters, and a lot of the inspirations came from these sagas. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Eric the Red. That's Leaf's father, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
Leif Erikson, the son of Eric.
Mhm.
That's such a stupid. Whatever. Vikings were dumb.
But
But just uh,
they fight hard though.
So does my
Now
mom,
maybe she's a Viking.
maybe.
okay. But just to give a little bit of kind of, a little bit of background information. Animated by Wit Studio. Very very nice company. Kind of, I believe it's not the largest, but it's pretty big, at least in Maine. This aired in starting from July 8th of 2019 to December 29th of 2019. So basically lasted 2 seasons, or how I usually go about how anime usually comes out by season. But let's see. The first episode, we have our uh, kind of like, I would say, a flashback of our, I wouldn't say main character, but he's a pretty big deal, by the name of Thors. Thors is a warrior, a proud one at that, and very good at what he does. Very strong, very skilled, agile, light on his feet, and what seems to be him in a field, standing across from a woman who seemed to be really close to him. So, under the assumption that it is his wife, and she's holding what was I think it was the infant with their firstborn. Uh, well, I'm blanking on the name again.
Thorfinn?
No. That's the second
Ova?
one. Ilva, yeah.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
Yova.
And they kind of share a moment, but they're like across the field from each other. And I just, he takes a step and looks down, like immediately, sees like a dead body, and it immediately like shocks him back to the present.
Yeah, he's like
Of
in some big navy battle, right?
Yeah, it's like a really large scale like battle across the water. There's boats everywhere, there are men everywhere, and
You guys want to know a fun fact? That navy battle actually like was based on a real battle that actually happened called the Battle of Herjonvoga. I guess that's what it was called. I don't know if I pronounced it right.
I like that you asked me if I wanted to know it, but didn't wait to see if I actually wanted to know it.
I
You didn't get consent there, buddy.
he dies.
you don't need, you guys don't need
Nice.
consent.
Oh, but wow.
I feel like that's cancelable right there.
Because you guys are gonna say no anyway, so I was just like, I'm just gonna say it.
Why even ask then? You'd just be like, hey, fun fact. Hey, you guys want to know a fun fact? I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway.
Yes.
Sorry.
Navy battle.
Right. Then one of his, I'd like to say comrade, by the name of Thorkel, who doesn't really get to see, it really isn't seen too much here in the first 5, but you see him later for sure, and it's kind of just him getting his attention back, so he can focus. Their lives are pretty much on the line. It's very important that they watch each other's backs pay attention. And so it's him, it's Thor's Thorkel. Who did this? Why would I'm not gonna get started.
This is what happens when you use the wiki.
It's not even that. No, it's not that. It's just the names. Like it could just be one name, right? And then another person's name is very close to that, but there's just a little bit added onto it.
Oh, you mean like
That's what pisses me off.
Thorkel, and Thorfinn?
Yeah, that's what pisses me off. It's not even that me. It's not even me. Like I'm glimpsing at the wiki. This is just what pisses me off because I need the names because I'm not good with names.
It's like having my sister's name is Lizera.
I mean, as far as I remember, I forget the king's name, but it's pretty much him and Thorkel are like, I guess I would say like the generals in command, and they're just the ones doing like the heavy lifting, kind of leading the battle, and like they're doing it for the king. And I think they're they're working under the Danes, and they're fighting the English. I kind of forget who's who because it just there's just so much going on in that first episode. It's just a lot of blood and a lot of action. But it's just pretty much those two are just like kicking ass, not taking names, and just being like one-handed, like one-man armies in a sense.
Which essentially is exactly what Thor's is.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's exactly what he is.
I mean, didn't they show like Thorkel just like with just one axe swing, like cut like 5 people in half, and like the mast, and like one full go?
That's hot.
Seeing him, I believe it. But they come up with a plan, and time comes to execute it. Thor jumps on to a neighboring boat, starts basically slashing through men, and while he's doing this, one of them end up, basically falling into the water with them. Well, 2 things happen. First thing is one of the men he killed wasn't was in the middle of dying, basically, and he had muttered something about his wife and his kids, and that right there kind of just made Thor's kind of just think, this ain't it, chief. I don't know if I want to keep doing this. I kind of want to just leave all of this behind. And he continues basically cutting through men as he's like making his way across the boats, falls into the water, basically has a fight underwater with another guy, and ends up basically low diffing him. I don't know how any other way to really explain it, but instead of resurfacing, he basically swims under all of the boats, leaving the sword that he picked up behind, body that the guy he just stabbed in the water basically sunk to the bottom, and he made his way to the shore away from the rest of the fighting. I don't know how long he could hold his breath, but that shit looked like it was far.
Yeah,
Kim, thank you for continuing your sub. Thank you so much.
And it's very, very interesting because it just kind of pans off into kind of just the abandonment of the battlefield, like from a former soldier to just kind of walk away.
Yeah, use that opportunity to kind of be kind of a deserter and fake his own death in a sense.
I love dessert.
Yep. No dessert for you.
Fuck. I hate this podcast. I'm discontinuing it.
And I believe he makes his way to Iceland, like and like from that point on, and basically 15 years pass from when he faked his death to present time, and we meet
Where's
Thor's
this
son. Hmm?
I'm just saying. No, I think it was. I think they originally from Iceland and then they went to Greenland. But I know the settlements were like in the North America region.
God, what a fucking nerd.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like when it came to like the historical part of like the anime, like I actually found that rather interesting. It was because I don't know why it stood out to me so much. Maybe it's just because it was the only subject in school that I excelled at. It's just because it was just kind of just memory. So just when I found out like all these characters were just based on like certain people that lived around like 1000 AD, and it's just I don't know. I was just kind of interested, so I just wanted to look into it a bit more. But it's a lot. I wish I just had more time to. It just this book just came in today. Like I ordered it like days ago, and it just barely came. Thanks, Jeff Bezos, whatever his name
Thanks, Jeff.
is.
I don't know which one is worse. Him saying thank you to Jeff Bezos or that guy that said thank you to Obama.
I'm still trying to figure out how come Obama wasn't in the Oval Office for 9/11.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
We meet a 6-year-old boy named Thorfinn. And honestly, he's doing a lot more heavy lifting than I thought I could probably be doing at fucking 6 years old. It's like what, 2 buckets of water. I don't know if I could do that. But it's probably the equivalent.
And playing with my Game Boy when I was like 6 years old.
But basically he gets watered. He's carrying it the entire way. Like it's 2 buckets on like a rod. You balance it on your shoulder, which I would think would put immense strain on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
But he seems to be a bit like kind of built different for a 6-year-old.
It's like 6 built like he's 30.
Yeah. I was just like, yo, who did this? And then I realized who his dad was, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, makes sense now.
Yeah. I was just like, okay. My bad. But
you do you, kid. I ain't gonna bother you.
Yeah. You do you, Chief. You got this. I guess it's just like brief because it wasn't really too much that was happening for them, but like later on that night, a man by the name of Leif Erikson, who in this anime is a traveling merchant and also friends of Thor's and the family, and he's sharing with all of the kids of the village that they live in stories of his time traveling, or time in his new world, or not his new world, but like the new continent that not necessarily discovered, but he stumbled upon, found out other people were living there, and made friends.
Fun fact, he actually learned this place from another merchant named Bjarni Herfjolfsson. And he got boats and got men and went to go to see this land, which I guess was like he named Vinland, which like I guess because it was just like a lot of how do you say it, like
That's where
grapes with the
Vin
vines.
Diesel came from.
So it was
Oh,
it's a family.
Yeah, when
It's
you
a
hear your
family.
family, it's Olive Garden, the country.
So it's just I guess bountiful like full of grapes and vines. So they call that like Wineland, but short for Vinland, I guess.
Olive Garden, the country. Olive Garden's so good. I wish Italy was real.
all right. I'm putting in my 2 weeks.
I imagine you triggered so many people when you say like I love Olive Garden. It's the
God.
best Italian place.
They're full of
Jesus
lies, bro.
Christ.
Unlimited breadsticks, that's impossible. You're gonna run out of bread.
Yeah. But I don't even know how to continue from that. Fucking 80 here. But Leaf was showing off the head, like the feather headdress and the pipe that the Native Americans had gave him. What they would sooner be known as, I don't know how long, but yeah, they in hindsight they were Native Americans. Give them the boof. But this kind of leads Thorfinn to kind of become excited to really travel and just sail to his heart's content.
His inner Viking.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Trying to think. I don't.
Also, fun fact: Leif Erikson was named the Lucky, because I guess he would rescue shipwrecked seamen. I don't know why that makes you laugh so much. he would just rescue people as he knew on his route, because he was a traveling merchant and all. So he that's how he got coined the nickname the Lucky, and that way when he was like talking to the children during that first episode, that's actually I guess gave a pretty good description on what he did, I guess, during his travels
So
from like Iceland, Greenland, and Vinland.
Leaf the Lucky Seaman.
Yes.
And then, do you think he's based off of a real person?
I mean, he is a yes. Most of these people are.
You
Yeah.
think it's Obama?
I mean, it's like almost a 1,000 years before Obama, but maybe.
But
I
you're
don't
saying
know.
there's a chance.
Nothing is impossible.
That's
In
my
this case,
headcanon.
it
Leaf represents Obama. Thorfinn represents John McCain's want to be president. What are we talking about?
Where is this coming from?
I have no idea what is going on.
Why? My God.
It's like, are we talking about? We're talking about Vinland Saga, right?
I don't know anymore.
Brr. I'm just lost for words now.
You threw me off my groove.
Okay, Cusco.
Alright, stop slapping your mic, bro. I mean, nothing much really happens from this point on. It's just like Thorfinn
Not
yearning to have adventure and to fight and all that, and his dad going like, "No."
no, yeah. It's just the repetitive like slap down.
You want a
So,
weapon? You want a weapon?
Yeah, that I think that was just kind of important because Thor's is kind of like, at least when I was watching, he was seen as like, if no one can do it, he can do it.
Mm.
Wasn't he
And
kind of treated like the chief in a sense? No, I don't
he-
don't really know.
I believe he was the chief of the village.
He just exuded BDE, and everyone respected it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's essentially exactly what it is.
Yeah, like all jokes aside, that's exactly what it was.
He's like, I'm running this. Slowly built it myself. Anyone that's come, take care of them, and we run this as normal.
Yeah, they even had the thing where like Thorfinn, you said before he's 6, and like he broke the arm of like a 10-year-old kid. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what we expect from your son. Haha, it's fine. And the kid's like, Dad, what the fuck? He broke my arm, and you're in support of this?
It's like stop being a little B word.
Say it.
You can say it.
I'll say it with you.
It's a family. It's a family podcast.
Meanwhile, I'm over here with like fucking sound bites of like he's
Sound-
pulling his cock
yeah.
out.
But the I guess the really important part between Thor's and Thorfinn was Thorfinn looking for, a weapon in a storage room. He finds like some of his like father's old stuff, starts going through it. He finds like a dagger and he picks it up. Thor's kind of like looks at his son holding like it, like the dagger by the blade, not even the handle, not even holding his son's hand, by the blade, looking him in the eye. He's like, if you take this out, it's meant to kill someone. Who are you planning to kill? And Thorfinn's like, the enemy. And his dad's just like, who is your enemy? And that just never gets explained, because Thorfinn's just like, he doesn't know at all. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, he's trying to make a point, but the kid's like, "Oh, I don't know. I just like my inner Viking's just like attack, kill, pillage, battle."
Pretty much.
So I will agree that Thurs is a great dad. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That is all. But maybe I think it's like maybe a couple weeks later. The village, I wouldn't say gets invaded, but kind of boarded into by a group of individuals who are never. I don't want to pronounce this goddamn name.
James, why are you redeeming shit while you're on the podcast? You're literally here with me. He's over here redeeming posture check and hydrate.
You gotta keep yourself hydrated, my man.
Fuck off.
Okay. The Yams Vikings, or however the dub said it, which I kind of vomited at. But I didn't like it because it was like Yums Vikings.
Vikings.
It was like, ew.
What did you say?
But basically uh his it was a old friend of his, I believe. It was I said his name earlier too, and I'm kind of sad that I don't remember.
The
It's
leader of the
Floki.
John's Vikings?
Yeah, it's Floki.
Oh, Floki, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
Floki.
have a picture of him.
Gotcha. I don't know if it might be tiny, but hopefully it's not. Where's my phone?
That's good enough.
Pretty good.
And he was a person he was one of Thor's comrades 15 years ago. And so he comes, he sees Thor's, and he's like, hey, yo, aren't you supposed to be dead? And he's like, yeah, but, and then Floki's like, yeah, we need you to come back. We're at war. There's something like really big about to happen, and we need everyone we can get. And Thor's being the family man that he is now, he wants to leave his old life behind. Politely says no. I don't think I will. But then Floki kind of gives him pretty much what it is, an ultimatum. It's like, either you come with us and you help us out, or we basically kind of burn your village down. We don't care. And
Wesker, thank you
sad.
for the 1,500 bits. I don't know what that equates to, but thank you so much.
Nice.
I've never gotten bits before. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know what that even means.
I don't know. That sounds like money.
It's a lot.
That's
It's a lot of bits.
wow. But he gives him the ultimatum. It's like, yeah, you gotta do this, or your village goes bye-bye, because now we know that you're alive. And
Yeah.
so
Kind of
Thor's-
calls him out as a deserter. So it's just like,
Not deserter.
you know
This
how
is
it
the
is
least
being
you
a
can do.
deserter. Yeah.
It's like, this is the least you could do for us. But then we find out what the actual rule of being a deserter is, which is unironically death. But it's not by normal means. It's not like an execution, believe it or not.
What was it again?
What
kind of death was it?
Oh,
Because as far as I remember, it was just death. Or is it just
normally it's execution. However, this is under like a different. This is gonna fall under a different thing. So,
You got this.
thank you. It's a
I
little
believe in you.
but we're also gonna like kind of fast forward a little further, because again, not much really happens. The current, I'd like to say, men of the village, even though there's like only maybe 5 of them that are like of age to can basically sail.
Yeah, they're all
They are
pretty young.
male. They're male of gender.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Didn't ask.
I feel like that was a little weird.
No, you were asking because you made a question about like it's like they're men, but they weren't like men because they're like barely of age or whatever.
He said the men that are of age to sail.
To sail. Okay, my bad. I think I heard wrong.
Yeah, I think so, man. you just assume my gender?
No, it's the third gender.
But I know they had names. I know one of them was Ari,
No, they
Ari.
had names.
I just don't remember them off the top of my head. But they are named characters.
Most of
Nobody had
everybody.
Thor in their name, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. They basically get suited up with, some of their families like older like equipment, sword, spear, armor, shields, basically armed up to the brim, to the teeth rather. And they basically get going. They got two boats. It was Leaf's boat. Leaf will be coming with them, kind of as like a pseudo guide. And the main warship, which is the biggest boat in the village, and it's Thor's and the 5 others that came with him that will be rowing this big ass boat by themselves. And let's just say Thor's did most of the rowing.
Yeah.
A lot of the rowing.
Didn't they
I
say
mean,
that
like-
when he showed up, he was rowing it alone with the strength of 5 men?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like on the right side there was like 5 people with 5 small oars, and then him on the left was like him with
Just
a
one.
one giant oar, and it's just like when he would do one, it would be the equivalent to the other side.
He's like, hey. And what it was like they rode to a beat too. It's like to the drum. The drum
Yeah.
beat. Really, really nice.
Just every room he goes into, he's like, I smell like bitching. Every room, bro.
But they rode for a little bit, and the 5 are exhausted. But they don't have to row anymore. The sail's down, and they're riding the current in the direction that they need to be going in towards the. There's like a small not I forgot what it's called because me and sea terms aren't too nice. But
Seaman.
it's like a cove. No. It's like they're going to like a cove of an island, kind of rest up, pretty much, or meets. Well, for one, Leaf to pretty much trade his goods, and 2, need a small break, because from what he was told by Floki, that there were men there that would give him a hand, getting him to basically like the front lines. And as soon as it's pretty much cleared that they don't have to row anymore, Thorfinn makes his presence known and hops out of a barrel and immediately pisses into the ocean. It's like, damn, bro. They must have been rowing for kind of a while. I'll be honest, because it just sounded like he was fucking holding it for hours.
It's frying chicken.
Okay.
Like in that one movie of Austin Powers when he wakes up from his deep freeze and he's just pissing for like 30 minutes.
I forgot about that.
Oh, man.
That was such a boomer thing for you to say. You fucking brought up Austin Powers. What the fuck?
It's the only thing that comes to mind when peeing for a very long time. To me, as a reference point.
But simply said, Thorfinn gets disciplined for, kind of disobeying his father for one. and has to basically stay on the boat with them until they get where they're going. And they sail for quite a bit. But they eventually make it to the cove town. And, well, kind of like it's like to say the waterway to it, not quite there. And Leaf notices something slightly off with this town, with this village that, he normally comes to. It's like there's like stuff missing. So they stop the boats and try to go like get out till a bunch of debris, rubble from like the destroyed houses,
Oh yeah,
aka the things that were missing.
yeah, they noticed that there's less houses compared to when he was last there. So it was like, oh, it's a little sus. And,
Why?
Yeah.
James just continuously has like the bad takes and stuff. He's the one that's always getting reprimanded.
And I am used to it, and I thrive on it now.
We have a timeout section of the server. He's the only one who's been part of it.
But the debris is dropped from the high walls of the waterway on, is it both sides? Is it both sides of them or just the exit?
It was like two cliffs, and then it was like, and the entryway leads to the village. So it's like one way in and one way out. Like you were saying, it's a cove. So as they proceeded forward, they dropped the debris, closing them off from escaping.
No way in, no way out. Hell in a cell.
I'm stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me.
Call an ambulance. Not for me.
But not for you. But long story short, Thor's kind of gets jiggy with it for a little bit. All these men on their boats, and he's like, you know what?
So it's a very like 70s like term. He gets jiggy.
I get my one slip up. Right? I get my one.
Welcome to the timeout corner with me.
No. See, here's the thing. Like 55 episodes we've been doing this, right? Like, that's his first. You've had like 7, and you're the newest person. You had 7 on like your first episode.
Oh yeah, I think I've only been on like 10. Like, so it's just like majority of them is just like bad.
It's like, no, bad. Stop.
Yeah.
Cease. You have violated the law.
The law of Lizerville.
Yeah, okay.
But we watch Thor's kind of lay waste to a bunch of goons that thought they were hot shit, and they were like, this guy's fucking nothing,
Well, he kind of single-handedly like takes them all out, and like they're like attacking with weapons and all that. But he's like taking them out like barehanded.
Yeah, it's taijutsu. Why'd you guys get quiet? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? It was fucking taijutsu.
But he basically beats the Pope out of these. They like to assume pirates, or they got branded as pirates for like a while. But just his hands, no weapons. He was just like, run it. And then we run into Bjorn. Bjorn is, I would like to say, the second in command of these pirates, and he has a. I'd like to just say it's his shtick that he just eats the berserker mushroom and it's just like I go into an unstoppable rage, knock me on my ass or die, and Thor's kind of just handles it with ease. It's not a problem for him whatsoever because again, he's used to it. He's done it before.
Pretty much takes a page from like Jujutsu Kaisen or like My Hero. He like eats something to get power.
Are you lagging?
I don't know if I'm lagging.
It's like he had already said that and like moved on to the next part. Like, yeah, he needs something.
I might be lagging. I don't know.
You're like a full minute behind.
Also, fun fact that they're like you said, they were pirates. Like that, the term that they also go by is Joms Vikings. But yeah, anyways, go on, guys. Maybe we'll just keep quiet.
Yeah, he absolutely manhandles Bjorn. Like Bjorn is going like full Hulk berserker mode. He's like attacking his own people and everything, and Thor's just like pieces him up real quick.
You don't want this. You don't want these hands.
Truly. I think he got up once to like fight again, and then Thor just knocked him out again.
He threw him.
Yeah.
He like that last time
he threw him from one boat into another boat.
Into another boat, and it was just like, oh. And there's a lot of distance from those two boats.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how strong he actually is. But after he gets back to the boat with the five kids and his son, and he's like, I just wiped out half your forces. Get the fuck out of here, or and I'll spare your lives. And none of them fucking move an inch. It was like, okay, cool. So he was like,
y'all feeling brave, huh? Y'all saw what I just did, right?
yeah. He was like, you want to see me do it again?
Because I will.
But he quickly surveys the group, and once quickly singles out the leader by the name of Asklad. Asklad?
Askalad, I believe.
It's spelled like Askalad, but they pronounce it like Ashlad.
Yeah, Ashlad. You're listening. I don't know. The dub could be fucking like butchering it. Like they butcher a lot of things.
Hey, but... Ashlad, come here to the front of the boat, quickly. Come here. That guy just came for a check, bro.
But that's gold,
he just came for a check, man. It's like...
It was just like no emotion in that whatsoever.
He came into the booth. He was like, "Oh, what's that? You already mailed the check out? All right, got you. Hey,
cool.
Hey, Ashley, come here, the front of the boat."
It's so good, but so bad at the same time. But Thor asks, challenges Ashlad to a duel, the good old 1v1, and he accepts, and the terms are given pretty simply. If you win, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but if I win, I need to get the fuck out of here. And they agree. The duel starts, and immediately Ashlad cuts the mast and is gone like the wind. Immediately gets the first strike in. Narrowly almost... Actually, I don't even want to describe this fight. Yeah, go fucking watch it for yourselves. That shit was great.
Yeah.
I
He
don't even
immediately
want to
starts off like playing dirty though. Obscure
Yeah.
vision, going in for like a kill shot immediately.
But Thor like purposely like moves just slightly just
Yeah.
to like just
So
to
it's
take
not-
the hit,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
to be as bad, but to just put him in a better position.
But the
It
thing about this
just
fight though, like you don't
really
have to describe it. But one thing that it did, and I kind of thought was funny, is it did the anime trope of you might be thinking that you're one step ahead of me, but I'm actually one step ahead of you being one step ahead of me. It's like, huh?
it pulled that, but it was actually cleverly like well done though.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, blatantly obvious.
But yeah, the fight happens. Thor wins.
Yes. He wins and he tries to get Ashlad to kind of pretty much admit, that Thor won. And they go back and forth for a little bit, kind of like a little bit of stalling until, Ashlad's like, you know what? Fine. And he puts his hand up and he's like, Thor's is the winner. And as soon as he puts his hand up, about maybe 10 arrows, 12, 15 arrows fucking loosed into the midair at once, and just one by one just going into Thor's body, and he's just unfazed by it all. I was just like, bro, who are you?
Well, men, it seems I'm going to die. Let me
Yeah.
tell you my message.
My final message.
Change the world. Goodbye. He dies like standing up.
Yeah, staring up, I think, and staring up at the sky. Standing up, staring at the sky. And his son's not having any part of it at all. Oh man.
The dub has the worst crying I've ever heard. Father.
It's a lot more convincing in Japanese, I'll
Yeah.
let you know.
I
Oh,
probably need to
fucking
watch
go,
that.
yeah.
I actually watched
Oh.
it in English. I gotta watch it in Japanese.
It's actually pretty good in Japanese. I felt a little more convinced watching Japanese now that I've watched both 5 episodes in either language. Eesh. But yeah, Thorfinn basically hides on the boat that they took. Leaf takes the other 5 home, with Thorfinn unaccounted for, because a lot of shit happened. Most of the kids are fucking bawling their eyes out.
Yeah, wasn't the one of the conditions also if he died or if he lost or whatever, or if he said he won but he still died, but one of those conditions that he said is to keep everybody alive, not to kill the rest of his crew, right?
Yeah, to take his head to the heads of the John Vikings.
Yeah.
Because his life was worth more than 100 of their men.
And it's so that Floki doesn't just go back and just annihilate the village because he was a no-show.
Yeah.
So there's just that proof right then and there. The kids get taken home. Thorfinn stays on a boat that was basically stolen and is now getting towed to wherever the fuck they're going right now.
Just giving him the evil eyes the whole time.
Yeah, he's just sitting on the other boat, just staring.
And they're just taunting him.
It's like, oh, he has a dagger. I'm so scared he's gonna kill all of us.
Oh no!
I'm quaking in my boots. Oh my god! But in Japanese, it's a little more heartfelt. It's a little more emotion to it.
He's vowing his revenge.
Yeah, he's straight up just, I vow to kill you whenever I can, because I can.
Except when the choice is in front of me. I have the chance, then I won't take it.
Yeah.
Well, I think yeah. Go ahead.
It's like a honor thing.
Yeah.
He's because he did catch Asled taking a nap. He was just wielding a big ass sword and was just He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it
You
anymore.
think I won't? You think I won't? Yeah, I won't.
But the one thing that did like kind of just stick out to me is that he's 6.
Yeah.
You know, and like the other men, like Aslag's men were just like you could see like the anger in this kid's eyes as he's vowing his revenge. And I think that kind of took him, like they took him a little more serious.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say a lot, but you know, he's 6 years old. What the fuck you gonna do? But I think they took him a little more serious from that point on.
It's like they felt actual killing intent from him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just because he was Thor's son, so he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean they said that at that point too, like, oh, he has the blood of Thor's in him. So like don't misjudge what he's saying.
Yeah, don't sleep on him.
Yeah. Like he may not be a valid threat now, but
Time's on his side.
Yeah.
But they get to where they're going. Thorfinn has his small excursion in the woods, trying to survive the cold time, the cold winters.
Yeah.
You
Learning
know,
how to use his
looking
weapon
for his
and
own.
everything.
Yeah, you figured out, you know, maybe a big fucking longsword that's like
twice the size of his body.
Is something that he shouldn't be using. Instead, he learns to use the dagger that, you know, his father gave him, and become basically fluent enough with that. Learn how to use it properly. He started being able to fend for himself.
Yeah.
I kind of have expected him to kind of like learn how to use, like, make or use a bow, but he just like stuck with the dagger.
No one's gonna give him a fucking bow.
Well, I don't know. He could have made one or something. I don't really know. I didn't really think too much. I would be like, I would have probably somehow made or procured some way, somehow a bow.
But I think that wraps up the 5.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
No memes because they're spoiler.
Yeah, they're heavily
They're heavily spoiler.
But what did you boys think?
James?
I actually liked it very much. I didn't stop at the 5. I watched all 24 episodes like in 2 days. It was pretty good. And then I haven't read the manga yet. Because I was kind of hoping that the anime covered like pretty much from start to end, from like wherever the manga like ends, but I guess it still keeps going a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's another season coming, so
yeah, it's coming like pretty soon actually. So I was like, ooh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But I was interested enough just to get the Vinland sagas, the 2 sagas that the kind of like where the inspiration came from. So I'm probably gonna read that too alongside the manga, and then I don't know. I overall I liked it a lot.
So would you rate it?
I would rate it a 10, and that is, I wish I could give it a higher rating.
Oh wow.
Which is
Damn.
like, which is crazy because I'm like, wow. I'm like, it just blew me off the water. I knew about it. So like it's like you Jace, like you said, it's been out since 2019.
Yeah.
But I've been like holding off on watching it. But I've been hearing like good things. But I didn't know much about it. I just knew it was like some kind of like Viking anime, and it kind of like resembled like Attack on Titan a little bit, at least in terms of action.
Same
But I
studio.
still, yeah. So I never got around to watching it. But yeah, I'm really glad that I was able to watch it, and like I was really surprised. I really got into it,
Hmm.
and like how like closely like certain characters were actually like uh, were part of like history. Like even like Askeladd is like based on, as far as I was able to like research, which is like not very long. About he was like I guess closely like based on a guy named Olaf the Peacock. And I
Vikings are
guess
fucking dumb.
he was the guy that founded like well he was like one of the first founders of the first like one of the settlements for Greenland around that time. And then like Thorkel the Tall is also that you guys mentioned briefly in the first episode. um the guy that was like with Thor's
Yeah.
when they were fighting, he was actually he was a very prominent member of the Jom's Vikings. And in that battle, in that first episode, um, I don't know. Overall, like it is a point in history that I do like find interesting. So I kind of like combined with that with like, and then how like how the author kind of like used kind of like the blanks in history, because I guess in the two sagas there's like little gaps. So like in the author, what the author did is kind of like he kind of put his own kind of twists, and he changed certain aspects of what happened, and that's what made this anime. So I kind of liked how he did with it, and like I'm kind of interested in how he plans on like concluding it.
Interesting. That's pretty cool, man. You got really
Yeah.
into it. Glad you
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah.
Me, I knew very little about it going in. I've heard about it. I heard nothing but good things. Um, I was never a big like history dude in school, and to this day, I'm still not big into history. It was one of my worst subjects. But I can appreciate it, like playing stuff like Assassin's Creed or watching anime that take place in the past and seeing how they use real life details for world building is always so cool. Even if I'm not explicitly into history. But I do love like Viking stories. I love like Norse mythology and all that. Love action. So obviously, I went into this expecting a certain level of quality and entertainment, which I got. The like the fight scenes are great. The storyline is good. My main issue with it, honestly, is that I just found it for the first 5 to be very boring. Like
Yeah.
it's just like it just drags on. Like I feel like everything that happened in this first 5 could have happened in like 2.
That was the only thing that kind of like threw me off a little bit. Like the first 5 was just kind of everything's getting set up for like Thorfinn.
Yeah.
But like the story really picks up after the 5, which like
Yeah, but I know that, and
yeah.
that's what kind of disappoints me because
Yeah.
as I've said, like the whole point of this podcast is to show the first 5 because that's what's supposed to grasp you. And if you don't get that grasp in the first 5, you drop it. So me watching these first 5, I'm like, this was boring. I don't want to continue. Like if I was to base it just on the first 5 alone, I would rate this a 4. Like my own personal opinion. But having seen clips of what's to come and like having people tell me about things that's to come, and even when I was looking up pictures and seeing like things on Google of like Thorfinn, he gets a little older and he does more things, and this character dies doing this, and like this character gets into this situation. I'm like, that's amazing. Like I want to see that. But having to slog through those first 5, I just didn't enjoy myself at all, and it made me not want to continue. So if I was to base on just 5, it would be a 4 for me. But basing it on everything else I've seen, I'd probably say like a 7.
Yeah, if I like that rating that I gave was for the entirety of the whole thing. But if I was going based on the 5, it would definitely drop down to like a 7 for me. But like it wasn't like too bad, at least for me. For the like, I really enjoyed the first episode. The first episode, at least by itself, like knocked it off the park.
Yeah.
And then usually the episodes after that kind of like, I already know it's just kind of like the story building in that sense. So like I kind of figured that in. So it's just kind of just okay. When does the action pick up? So I just kind of waited. I just kept watching until it picked up, and then like I didn't even know like when episode 5 ended. I just kept watching, and then I'll be like, whoa, and then I realized like, oh, I'm on episode like like I'm like yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I expected you guys to like give it higher ratings than I would anyway, though, because you two were like D&D nerds and like all that world building shit, and I'm just like, it's boring.
Oh, coincidentally, when I ordered the Vinland Sagas, I ordered 2 D&D books.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, I because I've been getting more into it, so like I already have like the Xanathar's Guide to Everything, the Player's Handbook, and like the Monster's Guide, but I recently got the Volo's Guide and the Dungeon Master Guide. So I was just like, okay, I'm planning on checking these out too.
Yeah, that was just gibberish to me. But yeah, like that, I would say 4. And as far as like continuing it, I want to see the stuff that's going to happen, but I honestly don't think I would continue the show. I think I'll just like look up clips and just see the action happening. I don't think I'll continue it. It's just boring to me.
I would say like if you're gonna keep watching, I would just like watch from whenever you see Thorfinn, like as you see him like in many of the clips when he gets older, or whenever like you see that he fights like Ashlad when he's older for like the first time.
Spoilers.
Anytime after that.
Yeah, I can definitely feel your pain because the first time with me watching this, I was just like, this shit's fucking boring.
Even when we watched together, like those last 2 episodes we watched together, I was trying to pretend that I was like super into it, just so, just to not give it away beforehand, because I like to save everything for the podcast, and I'm just like,
I don't know, but it's like you said, it's definitely on the bleaker side because you know they could have did all of this in like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But like whatever, I don't know what it is. They like dragging shit out for some strange reason. But you know, you can. I wouldn't have mind just getting all the build up in 2 episodes, and then 3, just get right into it.
Yeah.
Would you rate it, Jay?
So I give the.
I know. I didn't catch. I don't know if I missed it or not.
But you know, I'm into the whole world building thing. So it's definitely not as high for the first 5, but I give it like a 6. Though anywhere from like 4 onwards, I don't remember where it gets another dramatic jump at, but from there on, it goes up to a 9.
Yeah, for world building, I do give it a pretty high rating. Just
does a really good job of telling, you know, building everything around the story before this plot begins.
Yeah.
So the first 5 episodes, I give it a 6. For the whole anime in total, gets a 9.
Okay.
But it does get the stamp of approval, but only after the first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So if you do like good story, good plot, good world building, interesting characters, and really like history, this is your shit. However, do stick with it for the first 5. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah. Anything else anybody wants to add to it? Anything you want to bring up or anything?
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
No, I think we covered a lot of it. I mean, like, I wish I was able to read more of this book and be able to explain a little bit more, but there's so much like background um, about like what like you guys were saying for the world building for this, like what the author used as a basis for his world. I was like he put there's so much detail like that he used and he worked around for it. So like there is so much that we didn't really cover, but like we said, it's just like the first 5 episodes. It just I just keep going like on about the whole thing, just like the whole thing was just pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, James?
Yes. So I don't know how you guys gonna. I don't even know if you guys heard about this one.
I already hate it.
I know.
it.
I feel like you guys are already gonna give it a low rating.
Oh no! Oh no!
My shotgun now. Get my shotgun right now.
I'm,
I don't
I'm
like
ready. I'm ready to put him in timeout already.
But it to me, just because I watched the whole thing, I don't know where it stopped at the 5 episodes. But this this anime actually like kind of got me thinking a bit. And it's called Blue Period.
What the fuck?
And
Yeah.
I started watching this with like no context whatsoever, and it actually ended up pretty good. So I hope you guys like it. We'll see you next week.
I don't know. I didn't like the fact that it started off with the word like. I don't know how this got prefaced as I don't know if you guys like it, and it was just like that already like gave me a red flag.
I set the bar low, so if it's low, then it stays low. But if it's good, then it can only go up.
The last anime I watched that had a fucking blonde chick with artistic talents made me cry. This better not make me cry.
We'll see.
I swear to God.
It is. I'll let you guys watch it.
I mean, that's kind of the point, but
Yeah.
I swear to God, James.
And if you want some context, it is an anime based on like artists and.
Oh no, I couldn't tell that because of Vincent Van Gogh's Blue Period. And the fact that they're holding fucking paintbrushes. I had no idea that this was about artists, James. Also, the fact that I already said, "Hey, blonde girl with artistic capabilities." You know what, James? You know what, James? You're going in timeout.
Well, I guess this is where we end up.
He's not allowed to say goodbye.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank you so much. He's in the chat. He says goodbye in the chat. Oh god. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks again for the resubs, the bits. I really appreciate that. And thanks for watching along with us on these anime. Hope you guys are enjoying if you're watching along. Hopefully we're, snacking your attention on these things. And stop redeeming things, James!
I think we gotta turn the redeems off for fucking like certain streams.
I can't turn them off. Like I can make it so that like they don't pop up on screen. It's not popping up right now. There's no sound. It's just coming up in chat.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
Jess is using the scuffed emote. Nothing scuffed happened.
but that'll be all from us. And
does he realize he could
have a
come
good
back at
night.
any time?
Yeah, I don't think he does. But You know, I must start the goodbye sequence, and
Yeah.
if he doesn't come back by the time I'm done,
It's on him. Well,
yeah.
bye, everybody.
I'm back.
No, you're not. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye bye.